So if astrology is so real, then why can one Aquarius meet another Aquarius and they may have some similarities, but they also have some major differences in their personality? Well, in this video, you're gonna find out. Hello, beautiful people. Your moon sign reveals your emotional disposition, how you feel about things. And because we're motivated much of the time by how we feel, this can have a major influence on our personalities, especially in romantic relationships, because we're operating from our emotions much of the time. So in this video, I will be uncovering the truth behind Aquarius and how having each moon sign will influence their personality. And all I ask in return is that you show a little bit of love by hitting that like button. It's really easy, it's free, and the sheer joy that you will bring will be shocking to Lady Liberty. And it doesn't take a lot of effort, just a little tap, a baby tap. Okay, no more wasting time. Here are the 12 faces of Aquarius, a brief personality description of an Aquarius based on what moon sign they have. Let's go. Okay, so Aquarius with Aries Moon. Well, this is another situation where the sun sign energy and the moon sign energy really work well together. Aquarius tends to be inhibited with their emotions, but with Aries Moon, this is actually the opposite. An Aquarius with Aries Moon is very forthcoming with how they feel. They are very confident in their opinions and very, very creative, having idea after idea. This is also a very ambitious personality that can tend to be much more impulsive than the usual Aquarius. Freedom is extremely important to this personality, and freedom in the way that no one tells them what to do, and they are very focused on living their life in the way that they want, no matter what anyone thinks about it. They can come off to some people as arrogant, but it really isn't arrogance. It's really just that they're their own person and they want to make sure that people know that about them. This way they don't have to worry about anyone stepping on their toes. Because this person is very direct with their words, they can also sometimes be perceived as tactless, but again, it really is just because they call it like they see it. Their intention is just to be transparent with their true opinions. They're not really in the business of trying to hurt someone's feelings. This person is definitely unconventional in the way that they see things. They have an impressive stream of ideas running through their heads at all times. They're also more willing than other personalities to dive in and take risks pursuing those ideas. The problem is they can lack practicality or follow through at times. So it really helps if they have a grounded and long-term goal-oriented rising sign. They also aren't big on caring if someone is an authority figure or not. Like I said, they do what they want, when they want, and how they want, and they don't care who says otherwise. Now, when it comes to romantic relationships, this level of freedom is a major requirement. They're more excited by the idea of love than they are with the responsibility that it might hold. Now, don't get me wrong, they will love you purely and passionately, but they're for sure best suited with someone that is more of a team player than a leader. So if you're the type that goes with the flow, loves exploring new ideas, and you aren't very rigid when it comes to rules, then they could be perfect for you because they work best if they're calling the shots. They may have a hard time admitting to that, but with the fixed energy of Aquarius and the cardinal energy of Aries, yeah, they're big on calling the shots. So they will work great with mutable energies, people that are more adaptable. So overall, when it comes to an Aquarius with Aries Moon, you will get someone who is innovative, assertive, emotionally expressive, creative, independent, and impulsive, also ambitious and a bit bossy at times. And if push comes to shove, they will manipulate a situation for their benefit, but never with malicious intent or to be petty. So good times for sure, but if in a relationship with them, be prepared to follow, not lead. Okay, Aquarius with Taurus Moon. Well, one thing is for sure with this double fixed energy, if an Aquarius with Taurus Moon sets their mind to something and they're emotionally engaged, if they really care about it, well, it's for sure gonna get done. No doubt about it. The Aquarius, Sun's anything is possible attitude really works well with Taurus's staying power and consistency. So focus is never a hard job for this personality. They will be a very grounded and straight to the point version of Aquarius. They will give you honesty, loyalty, and the hard truth whenever you ask for it. This person is very sensitive and they know it, so sometimes they can come off as intellectually arrogant, but the truth is this combo does create a personality that is otherworldly but grounded at the same time, so that does lend to them being very intelligent. They have really great taste, but their needs are simple, so you won't find them overspending or being frivolous with money or just trying to have material possessions to try to prove their success. This personality is hardworking and absolutely does not give up easily. Aquarius can tend to get bored of something and shift to new, more exciting ideas, but an Aquarius with Taurus Moon, they're in it for the long haul. Once they've committed to something, they're in it for good until it's complete. They're also most of the time factoring in how they can have a positive effect on the greater good of society. The Taurus Moon really tends to amplify Aquarius's humanitarian aspect. Now, when it comes to romantic relationships, you will for sure get a more relationship-oriented version version of Aquarius here. They won't necessarily be super social. They may prefer spending much more time to themselves or at home, but they are wired to be in a committed relationship and do not fear losing their freedom like Aquarius energies with other moon signs can fear. They also have a very even temperament. Yes, they can be very passionate, but in terms of triggering them to anger, it's going to take a lot to get them there. Frustrated with things that are going on in the world, yes, but in terms of interacting with them in a relationship, you'll have yourself a team player that really does want to make the decisions that benefit the greater good of the relationship, not just themselves. They will for sure rebel if you try to tell them what to do, but that's really going to be any Aquarius, no matter what their moon sign. But in terms of being affectionate, loving, and capable of long-term commitment, yes, you have a strong candidate for long-term success on your hands with this personality type. They will be most attracted to someone that they have a mental and physical connection with. They really aren't interested in settling for anything less. So overall, you'll have a humanitarian that truly works to make the world a better place, that is independent and loving, driven, and will tell you like it is, whether you like it or not. Someone grounded and initially hard to get emotionally close to, but once they know that they can trust you, they will open up and be loyal to you in any other cause they get behind. Okay, Aquarius with Gemini Moon. Now this is a very interesting version of Aquarius because whatever rising this person has is going to majorly influence the overall description of this personality. So keep that in mind since I'm not factoring in rising signs here. But generally speaking, this combo for sure is going to give you someone who is incredible with coming up with new ideas and innovative ways to approach whatever topic it is that they're focused on or exploring. This person will also be extremely ambitious and capable. However, their ability to see something through to the end is what will be strongly affected by their rising sign. For example, if their rising is Capricorn, Sagittarius, or Scorpio even, they'll for sure have the tendency to see something through to the end. However, if their rising is, let's say, Aries or Libra, you may find that they are the type to be amazing at the start of something, but they get bored or excited by something new, or just get frustrated if they're not getting results fast enough, and they might move on to the next idea. They will be great at talking their way into any situation, which is a great gift to have, especially in a romantic relationship, because you can rest assured that if you're dating an Aquarius with Gemini Moon, they'll get along with your family and friends, and they can basically get you two into any place or situation that they want to. Their moods can be pretty unpredictable, so they can be hard to read, but you really don't have to worry about getting them angry because it takes a lot to get them mad. They genuinely like to keep things lighthearted, fun, and playful, and they do have a childlike quality to them that will keep you smiling. Unless you're a personality that's pretty serious and all about living life in a very structured way, if you are very structured, then you might want to steer clear from dating an Aquarius with Gemini Moon because they're smart and they get things done, but usually in their own way and by their own rules and on their own timeline. The rising will also have so much to do with whether or not they're quick to get into a committed relationship or not. The one thing that you can know is that they will for sure be social and open to dating and falling in love. What shape that takes in terms of traditional commitment, etc., will have much to do with the rest of their chart. Overall, what you will get with the Aquarius with Gemini Moon personality is a very intelligent, witty, open-minded, and creative individual that likes all different types of people, but can't stand someone who's uptight, critical, or a complainer. They are great at finding innovative ways to solve any problem, and they work best when they're allowed to be exactly who they are, which can be unpredictable, but very charismatic and very charming. So if you don't mind a few surprises and you're okay with the phrase, everything's gonna work out just fine, without exactly needing the details on how that's gonna happen, then this personality could be perfect for you. Okay, Aquarius with Cancer Moon. Now this is a very emotional, loving, caretaking, but intense personality. Think about it. Aquarius is very vocal and takes action when they feel like something is not right. Cancers are very sensitive and often affected by their surroundings. So if you put these two energies in one human being, you will get someone who cares deeply and is going to be verbal about it and will demand action from themselves and anyone around them if things aren't the way that they feel like they should be. So if you find yourself in a relationship with this personality, just know there will be a very clear standard of what they believe a healthy, happy relationship is, and they will hold you to that standard, and they will do so out loud. Also, I've said this before, but whenever you put air with water, you're gonna get waves. So their emotions will ebb and flow quickly, and like I said, this doesn't happen quietly. You will for sure hear about whatever they're feeling. So they will need a partner that is emotionally available, compassionate, and willing to talk things out in terms of reassuring their partner of what will be done to handle whatever situation may be causing an issue. This personality is very capable of getting results and is very powerful when they set their mind to something because they're not big on giving up. They are also big on doing the right thing, so they may come off as a bit righteous at times. If they're in love with you and things are good, you will have an angel on your hands that will do anything for you, but when the tides shift and they're feeling underappreciated or let down in some way, well, let's just say that angel will be nowhere to be found. And it will be replaced by someone demanding and critical that's not going to stop with this energy until things get resolved. They will be great with kids and will have a strong determination to make sure that whatever decisions they make are for the greater good. Meaning their Cancer Moon amplifies the Aquarius humanitarian trait. If they do have a consistent problem with you, their solution at times is to completely disconnect from you. So don't be surprised if they have certain people that they once were close to, but they've decided to completely shut out of their life. If they deem you toxic, then you will get cut right out of their world. So overall, when it comes to this personality, you will get someone that is extremely loving, but also extremely sensitive, very capable and powerful, but also very affected by their surroundings in the way that if something goes wrong, it can change their entire mood, especially if they feel like someone is being mistreated or if something unfair is going down. So they work best with someone that is compassionate and emotionally available and that is lighthearted enough to bring them out of moments of despair, but that takes life seriously enough to make sure that when things are a bit off, they make a major effort to make them right. If you are the hey, it's no big deal type, then Aquarius with Cancer Moon is not for you. Easygoing, no, but very rewarding, protective, intelligent, and loyal, and loving, yes. So being with this person may not be a laid back experience, but it's a very rewarding one for the right type of personality. Okay, Aquarius with Leo Moon. Now this is a very upbeat personality with charisma and creative self-expression. They are playful with a great sense of humor, and you will find them in a good mood much more often than not. Now remember that Aquarius and Leo are both fixed signs, so they can also be extremely stubborn. Most of the time when we hear the word stubborn, we immediately relate that trait to Taurus, but the truth is all of the fixed signs can be very stubborn. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are all the types of personalities that when they decide to focus on something, whether it be a feeling or a mental position, they can for sure be very difficult to influence in terms of changing their mind. And Aquarius with Leo Moon is also very generous and open-minded when it comes to not being judgmental and taking the live and let live approach. But this is tricky because they also can be very bossy, even controlling. So if you can imagine someone that is fun-loving and open-minded, but that also believes that they're going to be the best ones when it comes to making decisions for themselves and other people in their lives, in terms of when there's going to be something like a group adventure, or even as a couple if the two of you are planning something fun. And Aquarius with Leo Moon will most likely want to plan the situation and may even get offended if someone doesn't want to go along with their version of the best case scenario. So they're open-minded in terms of general issues, but they're very clear and specific about what they think a plan of action should be. So with this personality, you definitely get that Aquarius no one tells me what to do perspective. With Leo's anything you can do, I can do better perspective. So they won't lack when it comes to confidence by any means. They will be very generous in love, and if you're in a relationship, there's nothing they won't do in terms of making sure whatever they have, you have. But when it comes to working as a team, they're all about the greater good, but they for sure want to have their voice heard, and preferably heard the loudest. It's tricky though. This could seem like they're very self-centered, but they actually aren't. They're very fair, and they really care about how their actions affect other people. They're just strong and confident, and to more subtle personalities can come off as pushy. One thing is for sure, if you're in a relationship with this person, you can rest assured that they are always going to do their best at trying to make sure that life and the relationship is in a constant state of upward momentum and improvement. They believe in always doing their best, so they expect that from the person that they're in a relationship with, and they want that for the relationship as well. They're best suited with someone that is practical and adaptable. This way they can work as a team as opposed to being at odds and fighting for who's going to be the boss. Think about it. If they're with someone opinionated and forceful, then yes, when they agree, they will be an unstoppable powerhouse. But when they disagree, well, somebody better sell tickets, because that could be the fight of a century. So loving, compassionate, charismatic, creative, and extremely emotionally expressive as far as an Aquarius goes, but also bossy at times, very driven, and they can border on demanding or controlling. If you can handle that balance, you and your Aquarius with Leo Moon will really bring out the best in each other. Okay, Aquarius with Virgo Moon. Now this version of Aquarius is going to be much more of a thinker than a feeler. Aquarius is already a sign that can detach emotionally, so if you give them an emotional wiring that is very analytical, practical, and particular, then you're going to, yes, have someone that is extremely loyal to whatever they decide to be loyal to, but someone that can also separate emotion from logic, so they can appear to be cold at times to people who are very emotional. So if you're the emotional emotional type that tends to take things personally, then an Aquarius with Virgo Moon is probably going to rub you the wrong way. Someone that is Aquarius with Virgo Moon will give you the truth even if it's painful. They are definitely the type that believes the truth will set you free, but first it might piss you off. And this is of no consequence to them. They think living in reality is where everyone needs to be, so they see no purpose for sugarcoating anything or living too much in a fantasy world. They're all about being authentic, so if they feel like you're a phony or a fraud in any way, then they have no problem passing judgment on you and passing you altogether. They have no patience for people that they can tell are performing to gain acceptance. They're also about being exactly who you are and doing that openly and honestly. Aquarius with Virgo Moon is also great at organizing. You have the detail-oriented nature of Virgo with the clarity and vision and gift for problem solving that Aquarius brings. So you can rest assured, if you trust them to figure out the best way to solve a problem, you will get a fantastic result. The challenge with this sign is the usual Virgo Moon tendency to strive for perfection, and the way this manifests in this personality is it really makes them a worrier. They are constantly in the let's figure it out mode, so they may tend to have a hard time relaxing and turning their thinking brain down a bit. So if you're in a relationship with them, you may think that they're not completely happy or satisfied, but that's actually not true. They're just in a state of constantly trying to improve things, so they have a hard time pretending that everything's okay if they feel like it isn't. And as we all know, most of the time in life, there's something that isn't okay. And where most of us can ignore it and say, I'm not gonna worry about that right now, and Aquarius with Virgo Moon feels that it's their responsibility to solve a problem if they've been made aware of it. So if you're in a relationship with them, have compassion for that trait. Don't take it personally and just say, if there's anything I can help you with, let me know. Just them knowing that you're down to be part of a solution and not a problem will set the tone for you getting the best version of them. They're actually pretty humble because the standard that they hold everyone else to is the same standard that they hold themselves to. So it's not like their ego is out of control. They won't shy away from debating and proving a point though. If they think that you need to be educated on some point, they will take the time to educate you. So overall, if you're dating this personality, you will be with someone that is loving, but much more of a thinker than a feeler. So if you present them with a problem, they lead with solutions, not emotional understanding. They are fixers, not feelers. You will get love and devotion, and you will actually get understanding, but you'll also get presented with the challenge of being the best you, and they won't settle for less. So if you're up for the challenge, then this is the person for you. It will sure be worth the effort. But if you're trying to just lay back and go with the flow, then nah, this is probably not the personality for you, because they won't ignore anything that needs attention. Okay, Aquarius with Libra Moon. Now this is another one of those situations where the sun and moon energy complement each other very well. Libra is going to diminish Aquarius's loner nature and make them a bit more accessible, both emotionally and personally. And Aquarius will lend to Libra being more decisive. So where both of these energies may be a bit extreme in terms of personality traits on their own, when blended together, they make for a very cool personality. This personality will definitely be social and definitely be concerned with keeping the peace in terms of them thriving in environments that are harmonious. This Libra moon makes the Aquarius energy much more easygoing. Libra is a cardinal energy, yes, but in the moon position, it really sets the tone for compromise and communication, which are two ideas that really work well together. This personality will be intelligent, open-minded, and absolutely concerned with the well-being and balance of the people and environment around them. Now, the tricky thing about this personality is romantic relationships. Although Libra is the sign of relationships, when it is in the moon position, it tends to make the person a bit indecisive on how they feel about someone, in terms of they can for sure be into that person and think that that person's a great catch, but they might not be sold on the idea of traditional commitment. So an Aquarius with Libra moon can tend to have a hard time deciding to settle down. They prefer to live experiences without too much effort in terms of deciding what the future of the relationship is going to be. That type of talk will just stress them out. They're much more of the, this is great what we have between us, let's see where it goes. And in the meantime, feel free to explore whatever it is you need to explore. They're willing to give freedom to whoever they're with because freedom is what they require for sure. Now, this doesn't mean that they can't commit or all they care about is just dating around. It just means that they're in no rush to label something just so someone can feel more comfortable or confident in the connection. They prefer to just see where it goes. No expectations. That way, in their eyes, there are no disappointments. And this absolutely works with someone who is wired to see relationships the same way. However, for someone who is much more interested in commitment and marriage and the traditional path of relationships as a goal, well, that type of person may want to look elsewhere. So overall, you will get someone who is charming, communicative, compassionate, but very clear on not wanting any rules placed on them. So if you're big on rigid structure and expectations, then look elsewhere. If you're big on let's see where the future takes us while enjoying the ride and each other to the best of our ability in the process, then this is the perfect person for you. Okay, Aquarius with Scorpio Moon. Now here we have a situation again with double fixed energy. So out the gate, we can definitely know that this person is going to be pretty stubborn when they see something one way or feel emotionally connected to something. It will be very difficult to change their perspective. And this won't at all be because they're just blindly following what they choose to follow. It's just that they are for sure comfortable being the only one who sees something a very specific way. They don't need validation from anyone in order to stand strong in their convictions. This personality has a non-stop energy flow, meaning whatever they set their minds to, they have the tenacity and focus to realize success in terms of reaching that goal. This personality is very magnetic and thrives in the comfort of their individuality, where most people are just trying to fit in and be accepted, and Aquarius with Scorpio Moon takes pride in being unique and even a bit of a misfit. This personality will be very particular about who they let into their private world. This personality does not see the need in letting it all hang out. Yes, they are confident in their individuality, but they're not into feeling vulnerable and they don't trust very easily. Now, when it comes to love, they will desire a relationship more so than Aquarians with other moon signs in terms of wanting a more traditional commitment, but they're also very much willing to date around and take their time to get there. They're mature with how they look at things, but they're also pretty particular about how they live their lives, and they aren't too interested in having that shaken up. So someone that fits into their lifestyle is the type of partner that they're best suited with. The one thing about this combination is that they are surprisingly impractical, meaning they can for sure get things done, but they lean on having belief in something and having faith that it will work out. Of course, putting forth the effort to make sure that it does work out, but sometimes they get caught up in a lost cause because of their idealistic perspective. So the good news is they will believe in you and they will try to support you emotionally and mentally through whatever you personally have as a goal or the goals that the two of you have for the relationship. The bad news is they can stay in something or support someone for a bit too long when all signs point to it's not going to get any better. So driven, unique, hard to read at times, a bit mysterious, but magnetic, very loving, extremely driven, and they have an infectious idealism that will have you believing that life can be beautiful. That's what you'll get with an Aquarius that has Scorpio Moon. Okay, Aquarius with Sagittarius Moon. Now, this is a very capable personality. These two energies complement each other extremely well. This is all, of course, unless their rising is Gemini. Now, this doesn't mean that they won't be capable with Gemini rising, but Gemini is the opposing energy to Sagittarius, so if their rising is Gemini, a lot of the Sagittarius Moon traits may be diminished. But when the Sagittarius Moon is free to express itself in this personality, then the out-of-the-box ambition, optimism, and confidence of Sagittarius Moon will meet a very supportive and complementary energy in the Aquarius Sun. This personality will be great with people. They will be driven and assertive, but not really off-putting. They're too smart to rub you the wrong way if they know that they need you in order to get done what they're trying to get done. This person is a problem solver and an innovator with exactly what it takes to be successful in whatever they put their minds to. This will be even more true if they have a rising that's practical and grounded. Either way, they will have a mature, big picture perspective that is very hard to hold back, and when they're met with obstacles, they find a way to overcome them no matter what they are. Now, professionally and independently, this person will have very little issue navigating life. In romantic relationships, we have another story. The trick is they need to be with someone that is okay with no labels. This is one of those Aquarius personalities that value freedom above all else, and they really don't see the need for the whole following the traditional path. This doesn't mean that they can't commit. They for sure can, but they will be more than likely excited to commit to the idea of being transparent and open with their partner, but committing to the legal structure that our society deems acceptable, and in some circles they deem it necessary. Yeah, they're not much for following that perspective. They're much more focused on learning and experiencing life and traveling, making a difference in the world. And if they find love in the process, well then great, they will give it all they got, but they must balance it with their independent pursuits. So if you're the type of person who wants a relationship where the two become one, then look elsewhere. And Aquarius with Sagittarius Moon is much more of the two will stay two and be the best two that they possibly can be while experiencing life and loving each other and growing. But independence is paramount. If that sounds good to you, then this is the perfect person for you. Now, you will find this combination in a marriage. I'm not saying that they won't get married. I'm just saying that in comparison to other personality types, they're perfectly fine to also love and love deeply and can be totally fulfilled in a long-term relationship that has a foundation of trust, strong communication, and support, but could really care less if there's a ring and a ceremony to commemorate or legally validate it. But they are passionate, they are loving, they're very capable of success, but it must come with independence. Okay, Aquarius with Capricorn Moon. Here we have a situation where the loner quality of Capricorn actually amplifies the loner quality of Aquarius. They can be pretty reserved, so they may come off as cold to some of the people around them, but this is not really the case. They're very loving and they're very generous in terms of giving of their positive energy, but outwardly expressive when it comes to their personal emotions, no, this is where they are pretty reserved. They're much more patient than the usual Aquarius, and they don't mind maintaining a goal that they know may take some time to achieve. They are big picture thinkers and approach life in a step-by-step way, and they will take their time with every step. Not because they're lazy or slow to take action in any way, it's because they make sure that they're creating a solid foundation before moving forward. They have the vision and persistence to really achieve whatever it is that they set their minds to. Now, when it comes to romantic relationships, this version of Aquarius is much more likely to not only be open to, but excited by a traditional dynamic. Marriage doesn't scare them, and they also invite the idea that there does need to be some rules and boundaries in a relationship in order to make it work. They for sure value freedom, but their definition of freedom is having support and being with someone that is secure enough to give them the space to pursue their independent goals without judgment. Now, it will be challenging at times when it comes to communication with them. They have a harder time opening up and expressing any feeling that may make them appear weak or needy. Even if they are feeling vulnerable, they aren't too interested in showing it. However, committed, a team player, understanding, and consistent, they will definitely provide those traits. But super open emotionally and vulnerable, no, that's going to be a little harder to bring out in them. If they're with someone that is very open themselves and is comfortable being vulnerable, then that will help them to open up. But if they're with someone who also tends to shy away from conversations that can be too personally revealing, then you can easily find them in a relationship that begins to fade due to lack of connection. So if you're into someone that is smart, driven, committed, and dependable, but that is a bit guarded, and it will take some serious effort on your part to get them to open up and be vulnerable, then just know this person's for you. And if you do have the patience and compassion to get them to that space, you will be rewarded and you'll be happy you did. Okay, Aquarius with Aquarius Moon. Well, independent for starters. This person is going to be talkative and intelligent, but also hard to reach if you're looking to get super personal and you're searching for that feeling of being immediately connected. Remember that whenever you have two of the same sign in your big three, your sun, moon, and rising, you will be getting a very amplified version of those traits. We know Aquarius to be humanitarians, meaning definitely caring about the well-being of the greater good, but when it comes to one-on-one connections, they can for sure be a bit detached, or at least it can feel that way to more emotional types. They can definitely be emotional, but it comes from more of a cerebral place. They're thinkers much more than feelers. So they're just trying to make sense of things as opposed to go into their deep feelings. Now, this will be the ultimate version of the nobody tells me what to do or how to do it or when to do it personality. This person is not listening to anyone's rules and regulations. If they don't want to do it, they're not doing it. And if they do want to do it, well then yes, they're going to do it and no one's going to stop them. So if you have them on your side, it is great because you know that they have the strength to get results. But if you're at odds with them and you're trying to meet a compromise, then good luck, because it more than likely ain't gonna happen. Now, if it's a big picture idea and the choice is going to affect more than just them, they will be much more open-minded. But when it comes to their personal choices, they're gonna do things their way. They may have many ideas and a very creative mind, but sometimes they can be procrastinators. It's a situation where one of too many things on the to-do list can seem daunting, so they put off activities that aren't too exciting to them or that will stress them out in hopes that maybe someone else will handle it. This personality is very fond of meeting new people, and they love new people because it's a new experience. It's the people that they've known for a while that tend to bore them. They're on the constant quest for the new and exciting. In a relationship, they are for sure best suited with someone who also values independence. They need their space and they will give you your space. And if you're critical or you attempt to be bossy, you will get nowhere with them. The more optimism you bring and the more new and exciting ideas you bring, the more they will find you and your company attractive. However, if you're looking for a traditional romance or fairy tale love, then look elsewhere. They aren't into being too physically expressive or overly emotional. They can love you very deeply, but it's in the way where they appreciate you for who you are and they're excited about the experiences that the two of you can have together, as opposed opposed to looking at it more of, I want to profess my undying devotion and spend every second looking into your eyes because I truly found that person that completes me. That's definitely not how they view relationships. So if you're looking for a friend that can also be a lover in a relationship where independence is paramount, then this could be just the love that you're looking for. Okay, Aquarius with Pisces Moon. Well, this is going to be a very emotional version of Aquarius. They will have the drive of Aquarius with the spiritual awareness and consciousness of Pisces. This person will be friendly, talkative, and have a great sense of adventure and a great sense of humor. They will for sure keep you laughing. Not adventure in terms of wanting to skydive and take major risks, more along the lines of being adventurous in terms of trying new things that can bring laughter and joy. They love to have a good time and for the people around them to be experiencing the same. This personality is also a big time dreamer. If you put the out of the box thinking, can-do attitude of Aquarius with the fantasy driven, creative, artistic perspective of Pisces, you will get someone who is ambitious and they will think and believe that anything is possible. The challenge here is consistency. They will be fairly practical because they do see the big picture and they do plan for the future. Actually, they spend a lot of time dreaming about all the possibilities that the future holds. The challenge is, like I said, consistency. We know that in order to achieve a goal, consistency is a big part of that equation. So yes, they can for sure be very successful at whatever they put their minds to. They just have to make sure and implement consistency into their action plan to achieve their goal. Without that, they will have a very hard way to go. Now, when it comes to romantic relationships, there is nothing this personality won't do to express their love for the person that they're with. They will be supportive of you and your goals. They will show you affection. They will do their best to make you feel like the most important person in the world. But, and this is a big but, the whole consistency thing can also cause an issue in their romantic relationships. If you're the type of person who feels like a couple makes decisions of how things should be done and then follow that protocol consistently, then you will have a challenge with this personality because yes, they are compassionate, they're fun, and they're loving, but they can be a bit inconsistent and they definitely are not gifted in following rules. So if you are in a relationship, there needs to be a rules person, then they aren't for you. But if you're open to giving someone the space to be exactly who they are without a standard of consistency, then you can count on them and you will have a great partner on your hands because like I said before, they are very loving and very present, but they are unpredictable at times and they don't really have a strong connection to doing anything within the parameters of a rule book. They aren't big on conflict either, so they will avoid situations if they feel like facing them will cause too much drama. So communication may not be their strong suit when it comes to communicating the issues in a relationship. They're great at communication when it comes to expressing what they love about you. So when things are going great, there is no better partner to have. You will have the time of your life, but when things get challenging, they sometimes avoid certain issues, hoping that they'll just go away. Creative, fun-loving, with a great sense of humor and a passion for life and making people feel good is what you will for sure get. But you will also get someone who doesn't want to face reality if it means having to follow certain rules or if it means committing to consistency or giving up any version of freedom. Okay, so there you have it. A brief personality description of the 12 faces of Aquarius based on what moon sign they have. I hope you all found this information useful. If you did, please hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you've had any experiences with a version of Aquarius that you would like to share, please do. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.